Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. Today we're having a Man United update. Just have a little reflection on what happened yesterday. It was seemed to be a bridge too far for United, and we look ahead to the game against Aston Villa, which is going to be actually the last Premier League before the World Cup. Joining me today is from Houston Red. Louis, the smiley guy. How are you, mate?
What's up, man? What's going on, Big
Not
Tim?
bad, not bad. It's Friday. We saw the game yesterday. A goal short and an extra round more. Well, the
Yeah,
title I made
man.
my chat yesterday was just like when you saw the game, you saw Van der Beek starting. I know a lot of United fans were excited. Tell me
hmm
how you felt when you saw the lineup. Do you think, no Rashford? What were you thinking?
No, not really. Honestly, when I saw the lineup, I it made a lot of sense to me. It made a lot of
Right,
sense to me because I expected our game plan to be different.
right,
It was a lineup that to me looked that we look for high possession, we look for a lot of interplay, playing through the midfield, a lot of build up, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ball
right,
retention, Ten Hag style, Dutch style, possessive style. What ended up happening was what we normally do, which is counter, football, a lot of pace, catch him on the break, that kind of thing. And so it was confusing to me to see that. It effectively takes players like Van de Beek and like Ericsson essentially out of the game.
mm-hmm,
I mean,
mm-hmm,
and I mean, it works out in the first half, right? I mean, Ganacho has the pace
mm,
and he has the creativity and he has the ability to, there's a beautiful through ball from Ronaldo, right into space, onto his feet, something he could run on, finish easy. Fantastic, fantastic goal. But you know, the the idea was you need two goals, domination,
mm, mm, mm.
dominate possession, play high up the line, I thought defensively, I thought it was a good choice. I thought it was a back four that we could do that. I
Mm.
expected to play on the midfield line way more than we did. Yeah, it's very, very confusing for me.
So we got the goal. Because if I remember, if I recollect, the first 10 minutes, we do know we were not in that game. But
Right.
the
Yeah, no,
team that
very
wanted
flat start.
the,
Yeah.
the the team that wanted to score goals, that needed the goals, couldn't get the ball. Then it wasn't coming into the game 15, 20 minutes. Then United had to dominate.
hmm
Then we got the goal. Nice pass from Ronaldo to Garnacho. So at that point, when Ronaldo missed that lob, I thought, you know
hmm
what? But at that point, that even was not even a ball made. It came off a defender's error.
Here's a little side thought, okay, and it
Mm,
goes directly into that. I am so happy and so happy with Ten Hag that our conversation is we won, but we expected more and we expected better. That is a fantastic problem to have.
mm, mm,
And for any other player, it's a weird lobbed ball. It's a very difficult finish.
mm,
And the only reason that we talk about it is because it's Cristiano Ronaldo and we expect better and we
mm.
expect that finish. It was a very awkward ball. It was a very
Right.
awkward ball. It's a very difficult finish at pace with a Russian keeper trying to
Mm,
lob it over. That
mm,
takes a lot of skill. It is not easy,
mm.
but it's Cristiano Ronaldo. So we expect better and we should. He is a phenomenal player, phenomenal background. He should finish that. We
Right.
expect that from him. And we expect our team now, because we've had such a good run. We've had a great run. So in the last, few weeks,
Mm.
that we expect 2-0, especially when you score, what was it, 15th, 16th minute? The first goal,
Yes.
something like that. Early goal is exactly what we need. But we expected foot on the gas. And that's not what we got. It was a very flat start. I think it was what the plan was, which was hit him on the counter attack.
Mm.
But once you're successful, we expect it to be better. And it's a fantastic problem to have. But I mean, this was a crucial moment. And I think we dropped the ball. So
Right. So,
Hopefully, going forward, it's more of
mm,
that. It's we have to be better. We
so
win, but
this,
we have to be better.
so went into the second half.
Mm-hmm.
The team that needed to score was now sitting back, and
Mm-hmm.
Real Sociedad were now pressing United. It seemed not till the last 15 or last 10, United started to realize, but there was no creativity in the second half at all. I
Yeah.
don't know what they I don't know if that was the plan, trying to hit them on a break or hit them on counter. Rashford looked like he was lost completely in that game in the second half.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
worst performances I've seen from him in this season. Then he brought Ari as a centre forward, but the delivery was still not there. You have
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro, you have Ronaldo, you have Maguire who could head, and Bruno's
Mm-hmm.
overhitting balls. I mean,
Yeah. Bruno off of the right for me, I think it was a very poor choice for the style that we played. And when we talk about the lack of creativity or the playing on the counterattack, we played a lineup that's not the style that they want to play.
right.
Casemiro, Ericsson, Van de Beek, Bruno. That is absolutely brilliant if you want to play fast, short passes, quick build up,
Mm-hmm.
tiki taka,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
possession. I feel like they would have gotten, if they had played that style, we would have saw balls on the floor being
Mm.
played forward,
Yes.
through the gaps, things for balls for Cristiano to run on, balls for Ganacho to run on. And when we finally throw Rashford on and we throw Harry Maguire up top, at that point it's crunch time, and now your balls are just aerial desperation. We have to score, and you know it's I when Harry Maguire comes on,
Mm.
and I'm looking at the back four, and I'm like, where's Harry? And all of a sudden, I'm like, there he is. He's up. What are you doing up there? I understood. I got it. You know what I mean? For me, as someone who is a practitioner of total football, Dutch style football, I get it. You know what I'm saying? He put him up there to do a very specific job, which was be an aerial threat, get the balls down. He had a couple of decent headers where we just played it long and he kind of put it towards the floor across the box. It wasn't necessarily directly to a teammate, and I think that's what kind of made those balls easy to clear. But I
Right.
got it. I understood it. I didn't like it because, of how we got there, which was the desperation tactics. But I mean, I got it. Um, but yeah, man, when you have that lineup and you play contradicting style to those specific players, I wonder, man. I wonder what could have been different if we played the way we played against Everton, if we played the way we played against even Arsenal. I mean,
So
honestly, it was
we can say we were missing Anthony, we're missing Sancho, we're missing
yeah,
Martial,
crucial
but
players up top for sure.
mm,
And Bruno's crossing off the right
oh God, it was
was either completely horrible or he was refusing to cross. There was a lot of moments where he could have crossed and he
yeah.
chose to pull it back. And again, uh, he's a player that you have to expect can hit a cross. And it seemed like there was a lack of confidence there. There was a lack of confidence to hit that ball. And frankly, when that happens, you have to make that switch right away. I mean, I don't even think you take him off. I think you just get him into the midfield. You get him into the midfield and put somebody else out there, because the fact that he wouldn't hit crosses when you have a Casemiro, when you have a Ronaldo, even a Ganacho, who is not necessarily an aerial threat, but he's a creative threat. The fact that we weren't getting those balls in, that's the final missing piece, right?
It was.
So, unfortunately, with Sancho's out, he was injured, or he wasn't fit,
He didn't even
essentially,
travel.
right? And of course, yeah, and of course he's been he hasn't been really in
Struggling.
form either. But I would very much have liked to see Anthony there. I kind of like the idea of sitting Rashford to start. I think maybe if you get him on earlier, and I think maybe if you get him in towards that wing role earlier, I think maybe there's something there. But
Mm.
ultimately, it was the style that just it scratches the head.
Someone told me today, like, United had a corner kick. You had Casemiro, Bruno, you had Casemiro, Maguire, Ronaldo in the box waiting. You won that goal.
Mhm.
He decided to take a short corner kick.
To take a short corner. That was in the second half, wasn't it?
You like,
Yeah, I remember. I
really, bro?
remember kind of losing my mind at that. I was like, "Get it in, get it in!" Like it is again. It is crunch time,
Yeah. Just put
and
the balls in the box properly.
yeah.
Is that though difficult to do?
And I mean, like when you have a game like what was our other Europa League game? The not Tiraspol. What's the other team? I can't even
Omanaya?
remember their name. Yeah. So when you have a smash and grab finish like that,
Mm.
it's not bad to have a smash and grab finish. It is not
Mm-mm.
bad to win games
Mm-mm.
that way.
Mm-mm.
But you win games that way by getting the ball forward and getting the ball, in towards dangerous areas and capitalizing on a mistake, capitalizing on a loose ball. It's a moment, right? But you have to create that somehow. And it was really disappointing to see us chucking balls up, to try to get it to Harry, to try to get it to Ronaldo, like at the last like 7 or 8 minutes when it's
Mm.
like we shouldn't have been in that position. We shouldn't have, we shouldn't have gotten so far into the game that we had to resort to that desperation. It's and I didn't hear post game thoughts from Ten Hag or what specifically he was looking for. So I mean I haven't gone that deep into
Right.
this game,
Right.
but I mean you have to think that when he puts on a Van de Beek, when he puts on an Ericsson and a Casemiro like that,
Mm.
Bruno off of the right,
There's a lot
you
of
really
passing.
you just really have to think that it's going to be a lot of passing, and it really wasn't, man. Our passes were off. I mean, overall, just the passing was not good. Very flat start. It takes us a while to get things moving. Score the goal early, which was I think against the script, and really should have just encouraged us to go forward. I don't understand
Exactly.
why. I don't understand why. 1-0 up so early in the game that you drop off and think, okay, we'll wait till the end and get a smash and grab. Um, I really think
Especially
that
away.
it should have just been a confidence booster. And
Yeah.
maybe, and I heard someone say that fatigue could have maybe played a factor. You have a lot of players like Delo, like Bruno, who have just been playing nonstop
Yeah, some
game
said
after
that they look
game.
tired, and I
And
get it.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That is a fair. I think that's a fair assessment. But I think that if that's the case, then you have to switch it up. Yeah, you have to change it.
Right. I mean, if you look at it from all angles, United stats, 4 attempts on goal, one in.
Yeah,
The team that
ridiculous.
didn't need to score had 13 attempts on goal.
Yeah.
So you look like, how the hell you want to score 4 goals when you didn't create anything enough to score the goals?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's why I said it seemed like a bridge too far. They were good enough for 1 goal. They were just good enough for 1 goal. The
Yeah.
defense was set up. You go do what we got this at the back here,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing went. Nothing was created in the second half. Nothing. It's flat.
Right. Yeah.
And
No.
you don't. It's what they say. No pain, no gain. You have to
Mm-hmm.
make the effort to get something out of it. If you don't put effort in, miracles don't just come like that. And, oh, we're just gonna
Right.
do a long ball in the front and something drops us. That's fine. But
Yeah.
prior to that, we were not even we were pressed back by Soceidad. You know?
Yeah. And it's this theory, right, that we struggle against Spanish teams, or we struggle against that the way
It's a
that they
nightmare, mate.
play.
We've not really been
Um,
great against Spanish teams.
and ultimately, what you have to think of is like a team like, or basically just Spanish league teams in general, not just Sociedad, but it's patient. It's patient. They look for the moments. They move the ball. I mean, they move the ball quickly, but they don't force it. You know what I'm saying? They're
Mm,
not forcing
mm,
dangerous
mm,
balls.
mm,
They're not forcing long balls if they don't have to.
mm.
It's if you give them time and space, this is where they're most dangerous. So when we've been so successful with a high line, pushing them back, pushing Chelsea back into their own, 18 for 70 minutes,
Mm.
You know, pushing Everton back, pushing you know, basically our last 10 opponents. You know, it if fatigue is that much of an issue right now, which it's very possible that it might be, because Martinez has been playing nonstop. Casemiro's been playing a lot. You know, Delo probably the most out of everybody. Him and De Gea probably the absolute most.
Mm.
It's very, very possible, but I would like to think that with the subs that are not the sub, but with the changes that we made, there were some fresh legs, enough fresh legs in there to say we need to play our style. We need to continue to develop this style, and we need to push it up the field. But again, like I said, very good problem. We won, but we should have been better. I mean, it's just the saying. It's just the thing. It's like we have to demand better because we're Manchester United.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, respect our name. We're Manchester United, and you know we're one loss in the last 10 matches. Well, maybe is that just Premier League? But we're one loss in the last 10 matches. You know, and you know, climbing up the table. We're how many points off the top? Like 7. You know, we're not in a horrible position.
No,
you know what I'm saying? But if,
as you can see, this game, this result now, like I put in my head yesterday, a goal shy and an extra round.
Yeah,
we now have an extra round of 2 games, which we could have done without.
Could have done without. It could potentially kill our hopes in this cup title.
Yes.
And ultimately where we are as a football club, you know, you can say we are in a rebuild because we are. New manager in that. But with the success that we had and the potential for continued success, you have to look at the Europa League as something that you want to win and that you should aim to win. Even with new players, even with a new manager, you know, when you have a potential to go to the top of the top of the group, avoid extra rounds, avoid you know, drop off Champions League teams. That has to be the goal.
That you saw the list of teams that dropped down. Juventus.
Yeah. It's huge. It's a massive list.
Juventus,
Atletico,
Ajax. No, Atletico didn't even qualify.
No, sorry, not Atletico. Barcelona.
Sevilla.
That's Sevilla.
Sevilla, Ajax, Juventus.
Yep.
Barcelona. Bayer Leverkusen. Strasbourg. So hopefully we won't get any of those glamour boys. We won't get the Barca, the Juve, the Ajax. We get some of the, you know, there's one CP something, I don't remember who they are, Strasbourg and all those non-high profile ones. But the problem here is from February till May, it's 3 games a week. There's literally the 2 games United have in hand. The Football League has said there's nowhere to fit them in. We are fully congested.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a nightmare. So we really need. I'm thinking we need to have a bigger squad depth in January. We need to buy a few more because there's no how we're gonna go through 3 games a week. We're gonna be burnt out.
I mean, after that performance, I would argue we're already there. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's been indicative of what our relationship has been with the ownership over the last 9 years. You know, it's managers are told, do it with what you got. You know what I mean? And we've had some managers, you know, like a Mourinho, or, you know, that have had some success with what they had. But I mean, every single time they tell the ownership, if we want to compete, if we want to continue to do well, we need the investment. And frankly, you know, we have to, you know, we have to take care of our number one issue, which is dividends, right? You know, dividends is priority. So as long as dividends is priority, you know, the call has been for Gakpo, right? Everybody wants to see this young up and coming striker who's reasonably priced at like 35, 40 million. You know, it would be an incredible add, you know, to the squad. And it's very likely that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You need,
and I'm guaranteeing some of that money, that price will go up.
Of course, it always does. It always does. Clubs know where the demand is. They know when their players are in demand, and they know that if it's, you know, if it does go that far, then of course they can ask for more.
Then you have João Felix from Atletico, who United have been looking at. Atletico,
I don't see us getting João Felix. I would love to have João Felix, but I don't see that one happening.
Too expensive?
Possibly too expensive, and honestly, I don't know what his thoughts on Manchester United are right now. I think we run into another. I think we run into another Frankie De Jong situation with someone like a João Felix. I'm sorry, but you know his name is high profile enough that he goes, I don't want to go there. I'm too good. And then he probably ends up like a De Jong where he's on the bench, not getting Champions League minutes.
He likes Barcelona for some reason. He still has that pull. That club still has that pull. You know, PK's last game is this Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean it's still they're still overall pretty successful in their domestic league, and I mean it's still a club with tons of lore and tons of titles and you know and that, so it's totally understandable. Manchester United is that to a degree, but I mean we can't, we're at the point where if we want to pull any big names, we have to throw all of the money at them, and frankly we just have an ownership that's not willing to do that. We can pull big players, we can pull big players with with proper compensation, but we're in a place where we have too many players lacking quality that are overpaid, and a board that's not willing to put the money where it is most necessary and it's most needed.
That's right.
So I mean, as long as we have that, it's going to be difficult to pull in players, and it's a shame. But you have players like a Gakpo, and there's a few other names, decent right backs in that are crucial for us that we probably will not get in January, and it's a damn shame because we're flying right now. We're absolutely flying right now. But if we want to continue that, we have to have the proper investment. We have to have the proper staffing, and that's where we lack the most right now. What's up, Mr. Bems? Sorry, that's probably Tim's job, but I just saw you jump on.
Hey, what's going on, Louis? What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
All right, Benz, you good?
Not much, man. Doing good. I just said, let me just jump on, man. I just
saw
this.
We were just Louis was just talking about what you thought. He just finished talking about yesterday's game. We're just moving on to January. When you saw the game yesterday, you saw the lineup. Quickly summarize, where did it go? It looked good. Then where did it all go wrong?
I think it went wrong. I think it went wrong from the beginning because I think Ten Hag wanted the team he put in there was you could tell he wanted he put players that would keep the ball possession, that would keep the ball.
What Louis just said.
Yeah, he put players in there that would want to keep the ball because because we needed to go there and score goals. So you need players that are good in the ball to keep possession, so you can give yourself more chances to win the game by the 2 goals to whatever. But I think the moment it went wrong was from the beginning of the game, because you could tell Real Soceidad came at us right from the get-go. They were on the front foot.
Yeah, that surprised everyone.
When they were on the front foot, so we were basically sitting back for a good part of that game. And you can see that, like, we weren't able to get the ball forward. And the reason why is because I mean they were winning first and second balls. We weren't good in the midfield. But I think as well, I think that had to do. I mean, Donny, Donny wasn't even getting the ball much, but even when he did, he didn't really do anything with it. Ronaldo, it was breaking. When the ball did get to Ronaldo, he wasn't good with a link-up play, and his hold-up play was it just wasn't sticking.
Right.
Even the goal we scored was off the training ground. That was a training ground routine that it worked fine. If that didn't go off, I don't see. We probably don't. I mean, we might have scored another way, but we also it's possible that we might not have scored. But Real Sociedad, they kept going. I mean, you could see they could try and try. They probably wouldn't score. But I think what changed the game is their intent. Their intent was to defend from the front, and they press us high, so they didn't give us a chance to actually play out from the back, and so that hurt us, and we couldn't switch it. But I mean, Ten Hag didn't really have choices on the bench that could come on and really change the game per se. To really get what he wanted out of it. I said in the UK chat that I would like to see Fred come on because Fred is a player that will win the ball in the opponent's half, and that's something we needed because Donny wasn't doing that. That's something we needed. So I would like to see Fred come on for Donny, and then you could still bring Rashford in too as well. But yeah, I mean, it just the thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're losing like key players, I mean, you have Anthony's out, Martial's out, and Sancho's out. This game was made for a player like Sancho. So and he wasn't there. So if you look at those three players, if you had two of those players, that might have made a difference. So
It could, man. That's like with Anthony as well.
Yeah, exactly, Anthony as well. And then you can see, I mean, I could see what Ten Hag was trying to do in that second half when he brought Harry Maguire in the game. He brought him on and put him to play like up front. I saw what he was trying to do was his plan was to play long balls and get Harry Maguire to win the first header and win it for either Ronaldo or for Rashford to go in and have a chance on goal or something. But that didn't work out at all. And you could see he switched to a back to like just three in the back. It was Delo, Martinez, and who was the last person?
Shaw.
Shaw. He just like everyone just go. That didn't work out at all either.
Do you think the creativity was good enough from people like Bruno? Do you think that?
No, Bruno's job wasn't. But Bruno's job wasn't Bruno's job. Bruno didn't play 10 though. He played on the right wing.
Yeah.
So Bruno played on the right wing. He wasn't on the ball enough, right? He wasn't on the ball enough because he wasn't on the ball in the middle of the field. He wasn't. He was playing right wing. He's not in a place.
He was playing right wing, but his job was to whip crosses, and he flat out refused.
Overhitting them
a few times, or he overhit them.
Yeah.
Your role changes.
He hit them. Okay,
because he got the ball. He hit him. He had the ball at his feet.
He had the ball at his feet. But look, who you gonna hit? Okay, but where was Ronaldo to hit the ball to? He wasn't in the middle because Ronaldo was dropping deep. Who's he gonna hit the ball to?
We were just talking a moment. I mean, he had
There's
Harry,
no one to hit the ball
he had
to.
Ronaldo, he had Casemiro, and he played short. And he did that like he did like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But I mean, we're talking about if the game plan is for him to whip the ball into the ball, you have to put players in the box, right?
Yeah.
Or you have to put players in the position that will receive the header, right? They have to be there more often than not, so he can keep whipping those crosses.
Right.
If they're only there
the last
2
10
times
minutes,
out of 10,
the
he's
last
not
10
going to whip
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the
Okay.
thing, though. It's
Now
like
for the last 10 minutes. So are you talking about the last 10 minutes? You're talking
Yes,
about
his delivery.
I'm talking about the whole game.
Okay, but the whole game, it wasn't the game. Okay, the whole game, there wasn't anyone there for him to be whipping the crosses to, though, because we weren't getting four that much.
I disagree.
We weren't getting four that much. How many times we get four for us to do that?
One day. You make a point that we were not getting forward enough. I don't think
We
the
won't get
team
them-
created
won't get the-
enough. I don't think they created enough
Yeah.
opportunities for that game
Because
to get the second goal.
Overall, no. Overall, they didn't.
The pitches, because we weren't even in the opponent's half long enough to create those chances.
True.
We
It
were
wasn't
sitting
till the
back
last
most of
10
the time.
minutes.
So what is he gonna create?
The last 10 minutes to
this
whip
is-
the
this
balls
is-
in with
why
Casemiro,
I said-
Ronaldo, and Maguire there. He was
Nah,
overhitting
but this
them.
is
No
why I
one was
said-
getting it.
This is why I said the game changed right from the get-go, because we were sitting back. When you're sitting back from the get-go, right? Although you're playing to whip crosses into the box, it's not gonna, because we're not there. We're in our half most of the time, so you can't whip anything for anyone to beat. Ronaldo was dropping deep. Now I can understand if we pinned them in their half and we spent a good 70% of the time in their box, and Bruno is not whipping the crosses in. Yes, I agree. But yes, even the time we were there, the short time we were there, he didn't whip it that much. I do agree, but I will also say he wasn't. They didn't even give him the chance to even whip the balls in as much as he wanted to.
That I disagree with. That's the only moment that I will disagree with you, because there's just too many times. And look, if it's three, it's too many times.
One corner kick.
He looks
with them
up.
guys already in the box. He decided to play the ball short. Like
I think
bro?
that corner kick. I think that corner kick is the defining moment, definitely.
Yeah, when
but
you
there is a few times where he looks up. He's on the wing. It's not a corner kick. It's not a dead ball. It's open play. He looks up. There are players there, and he doesn't cross it. And he doesn't cross it. I will say this overall, and maybe it's look. He's definitely not a right wing. We can give him that all day long, but where we break down in the midfield, partially, I think, is because you're right. Soceidad they come out strong. They're at home. Their fan base is phenomenal. The energy is there for them, and they're playing aggressive. I get that. Bruno was completely subpar in his passing. Short, long, doesn't matter.
Everyone was subpar in their passing.
I agree. Bruno. I agree. Yeah, no. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Because Ronaldo has a few balls. He wins it. High middle third, low attacking third, and his passes backwards are abysmal. Eriksen had several misplaced passes. Van de Beek, not a lot of service, but passes are abysmal. So overall, I think you're absolutely, I agree. Passing is absolutely abysmal. But for someone like Bruno, who is a player that we do expect to pass the ball, and when he is in a position where he has width and he's a little bit more time, we expect him to whip the ball, whether he whips it high, whether he whips it low, we expect him to cross the ball. We expected him to cross the ball, and he flat out refused.
Have you also thought about the fact that, okay, if he crosses the ball, nothing comes out of it, we lose possession, we're sitting back anyways.
If he keeps the ball, we lose possession.
They go back attacking us, right?
If he loses the ball, if we lose the ball, or if he keeps the ball at his feet, if he plays it short, the pressure is already on that side. The team is shifted. You lose possession.
If he plays it short,
if you whip it, okay, if you get it across the box, okay, maybe you lose it, but it's in their box. It's in their defensive third. They have to.
Okay, but we weren't there.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna give it up somewhere, give it up where their numbers down.
That makes sense.
Don't give it up where their numbers up.
So we didn't get enough. We didn't get the 2 goals. We are going to play an extra game of 2 games, which we could do without.
We're gonna.
The Premier League has just said there's no space for United. Still have 2 games in hand where they can't even know where they're gonna fit those games into, let alone these. So United either get.
You can blame FIFA for that. We can blame FIFA for that 100%, dude.
Yeah,
this World Cup is freaking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
I hope they never do this again, but I won't be surprised. Some other
I wouldn't either.
I don't mind hosting the World Cup, but I'm sorry. This in the middle of it's just not feasible.
Doesn't matter what tournament you do, it can't be in the middle of everyone else's league play. It makes zero sense. And now you have phenomenal footballers like Son, who's probably going to miss out just because he grabs an injury right beforehand. Varane is, he can't play for us anymore because he'll probably play the World Cup, but he's, he had a scare, right? So he's not going to play. It is incredibly just a logistical nightmare. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
I'm more worried about after World Cup. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the second half of the season. That's what I'm worried about.
The teams that stay the longer in the tournament, and if we have players who their teams stay longer in the tournament, they're going to be tired when they come out.
Yeah,
when they do get eliminated or whatever, so it's really rough. This World Cup is absolutely rubbish. It's
what I wonder.
I'm looking forward to it, but I just wish it could have been done in the right time. Right.
What I wonder though is if I'm a world class footballer, if I'm a Mbappe or Ronaldo or just any of these big names, and you get into the summer, I go to my club and I said, dude, we're not playing preseason. No preseason tournaments, no friendlies, we need time off to recover. So I wonder what the summer is going to look like as far from a game aspect.
But you
know what I mean?
They're still going to play. They're still going to play games.
I would be like, send the players that didn't play in the World Cup.
They are looking for that tour money and selling of merchandise. Remember,
of course,
the teams are going to release a new kit. These criminals will release a new kit,
all the money thing.
And they have to sell it again to the ones who tour America. Will release the new kit. The ones touring Asia, the ones touring. It is just
it's about making money. That's what it is.
If I'm a player like who's another big name. If I'm like even a Messi, I'm just like, yo, talk to my lawyer about hostile work environments, bro. I'm not working for you in the summer. I need time off.
Hostile working environments.
How would you describe it?
The thing is, you have a contract, though. You sign a contract, though.
Exactly.
You can't.
And in your contract, you're guaranteed time off. In your contract, you're guaranteed time off, and things like international tournaments included.
You're guaranteed time.
So
players unionize over this kind of stuff.
But if the club tells you that we need you to be there, you're breaching your contract.
And then again, like I said, it's big name players, right? If you're a Ronaldo, if you're a Messi, if you're an Mbappe, if you're somebody like that, I'm going to kiss my ass.
True. Right, let's roll forward. United didn't make it, so it is like I titled yesterday's discussion was a goal short, a goal shy, and an extra round more. That's what we've not achieved. So we have Aston Villa, the last game before the World Cup. Is the last Premiership game this weekend. The last Premiership games for everyone in the Premier League this weekend. We are away to Aston Villa. New manager Emery. He'll be ready. They'll be fired up. I don't know what you guys expect. Then on Wednesday is our last game, which will be the Carabao Cup game against Villa again.
Yeah. At
Old Trafford. So, Louis, against Emery, new club. He's defeated us in the Europa League final when he was with was it Sevilla, right? Sevilla?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's it is a game where if you look at Soceidad, even though you win, like I said, we have to demand better, right? So you have to, and it's going to be very difficult with injuries and the amount of playing time that certain players have played, but you have to tell them if we're going to win this game, number one, if we're going to be successful over the next two games, we have to get back towards that dominating style. You know what I'm saying? We have to still be pushing for 60-70% possession of football.
Right.
We have to push that line when we can push it. Unfortunately, what will probably happen is Maguire probably comes back into the team. So what that pairing looks like, that center back pairing very much dictates the style that we play. So if it's Maguire and Martinez, they played, 45 minutes against Tiraspol where we were able to kind of push up. They didn't really have much to do. So Harry has an okay 45 minutes. He can't go 90 minutes. pushing a high line. It's just we're too vulnerable. He's too slow.
And recovery. He's gonna recover quick to get back.
So we're forced to drop back. I mean, and again, good in the air. You know, height, physicality. He has that for us, but acceleration, endurance, sprint speed. It's, you know, it's something that it could be a very dangerous for us, especially if you have, you know, Delo, who's played 90 minute after 90 minute after 90 minute. Does he come out? Yeah, does he come out this week? So
is Wan-Bissaka fit?
Very,
do we know?
Difficult to say. Fit, yes. Form, yeah. Yeah, you know, that's right. Because Wan-Bissaka was on the bench, no, wasn't he on?
Yeah, he was on the bench.
He was on the bench. So right. I mean, he is a potential for us to play.
He's not gonna play.
Where he fits into Ten Hag's style is very, it's, you know, it's up in the air. I don't
think Ten Hag's gonna play him. It has to be either Delo's injured or probably last 10 minutes.
I would really like to see
United have one game, then just throw him in.
Yeah. If Delo plays, which I expect him to, I think Bems is right. I think if he plays, the only thing I ask of Ten Hag is get Malacia in there at some point, just to maybe to finish it up.
Right.
You know, get him in there, play him off the right, whatever.
Bems, Aston Villa Sunday round up. What do you think? What are you expecting? What do you think? New manager, new boost, going to be a new kick for the players to impress Emery, who's beaten us in Europa League final 2 years ago. He ain't a bad guy.
It's going to be a tough game tomorrow. On Sunday. I don't expect us to. I don't expect us to have more of the ball. I don't expect us to have 70% ball possession. I expect it to be a similar kind of game like yesterday.
So you think Aston Villa will take the game to us?
I think so. The reason why is because you got to look at it. They've rested for a whole week. They don't have any midweek tournaments. We've been playing 3 games a week for God knows how long. A lot of these players like Martinez, Delo, they're going to be tired. I mean, they just played on Thursday. The guys going to play again 90 minutes again on Sunday. I mean, yeah, Bruno is not going to play, but I mean, Eriksen is going to play. Like, majority of that team is still going to play. So I don't expect. I mean, Bradford probably comes in. I guess hopefully Anthony's back or Sancho is back. Martial back. Even if Martial comes back, he's not even going to play a full 90 minutes. So I mean, I don't expect it to be a dominating game by United. I expect it to be a little bit similar, scrappy, try and win the game 1-0, and then sit back and just and then defend and just and try to keep a clean sheet. But again, you're playing against Aston Villa, just like you said. New manager, the players are going to be pumped. They're going to be up for it. It's away. It's in their place. I mean, it's going to be tight. I won't be surprised if we come out the game with a draw. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough. You're asking too much on these players, man. It's just too much.
Louis,
it's too much.
Do you think 3 points, or this is going to be?
I mean, look, you would like to imagine so, right? But again, I think it's like we said earlier, and I think it's basically what Benz is alluding to is the squad depth is not there, you know. And we are asking a lot. We are asking a lot of these players. I don't know if you have them. I don't think you have a Martial ready for this game. I honestly would expect Garnacho to start again, honestly, because I just think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I rate him. You know what I mean? I think he's a good player. He's a young player. He's a bit inexperienced, but I mean, he you know, there's potential there to do well. You have to. I think what I would like to see from Ten Hag is you have to get, and again, like, yes, you want to aim for 60-70% possession. I think Bems has a very realistic idea, which is he probably won't get there. But what I would like to see, you know, Erik Ten Hag say to his team is we have to get as close to that as we possibly can in every game, even if that means 55%. You know, that has to be the game plan. That has to be the methodology that we put forward and that we try to build on every single week. If we, when we switch styles, when we switch styles, then that style is not developing, right? When we switch game plans, and again, you have to play what's in front of you as well.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you can't make any adjustments.
I see a draw in that game. Honestly, I don't want to say it, but I
don't see it. Yeah,
I see a
exactly.
2-2 or 1-1. But
yeah,
if we win, it's going to be tight.
It's going to be a tight game.
It's going to be a scrappy win. It's not. It's not going to be a.
It might be another. If we could get
a
smash and grab, would be great.
Right,
that's
absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I see.
Yeah. And on Wednesday we got the Carabao Cup at Old Trafford with Aston Villa as well. Again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of these. It's very likely to say we're probably going to lose one of these games, right? And you hope. I mean, look, they're back to back against a team that is not playing as much as we are. I mean, I think Bems makes really solid points there. You have to imagine that we're probably going to lose one. It's which one do you lose, right? Or it's which one do you draw?
Because I would tell you now, he wants to win a trophy.
Yeah,
so that is the easiest of the trophies to win. The Carabao Cup is the easiest to win.
The Carabao Cup is the one that I would say go ahead.
Is it if you go against an Arsenal or a City at some point?
No,
I don't know.
No, it's not the easiest to win. It's not the easiest to win at all. It's not the easiest. There's no easy cup anymore because you have to play. You have to go through City. You have to go through Chelsea.
I mean, City have won it. City won the Carabao Cup five times in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
You also have to remember who they put up against us. You know what I mean? Like, I think that City, maybe they not haven't taken it seriously, but definitely use that as an opportunity to maybe rest certain players, especially against weaker opposition. That's what.
As they progress the tournament,
no. I'm not saying that. Again, I'm not saying that he doesn't.
Oh, Pep takes the Carabao Cup very seriously.
Yeah, he takes it seriously.
I agree that he takes it seriously.
You got to remember, last season it was Liverpool and Chelsea that fought for it, and Liverpool won on penalties.
They all took it seriously.
They won on penalties. That's the two big clubs just last season.
My point is, think about the squad that they would put against a Manchester United versus if they were playing in Aston Villa, right? I think, of course, I think they put forth a strong squad against both. I think they put their absolute best squad against Manchester United because 100%. It's a derby. You know what I'm saying? So looking at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? It's basically, just repeating. There's no easy cup. There's no easy cup. You know what I mean? And I think that if we do run into someone like that, it's that much harder on us than it is on other clubs, just because we're a name that has to be beaten.
Right, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure again. This Friday night football roundup for Man United, and talking about the game we could not finish and get the final 2 goals we needed, and we've got an extra two games added on to an already congested. We're gonna be playing. From February, it's 3 games a week. It's just 3 games a week.
Hey Tim, before you go, I just got a quick question, right?
Yes.
Where do you guys? I just want to know what's your prediction of where United will finish at the end of the season?
We've had this congestion fixture. With this fixture congestion, I would have said on a normal day, we've had this whole World Cup thrown in the place. I would have said we'll be in the top 4, but only we could get top 4 if we invest by buying additional bodies for January. But will these owners spend in January again? I don't know.
Okay, like so your answer is?
My answer is, with the way as today, no.
Okay.
As it stands today, no. I could see no top 4, but a trophy if it goes as we are now. If we don't improve, adding players onto this team, it's a trophy, but not top 4.
Okay, that's interesting. Lewis, what about you?
Only the gods can decide.
Nah, give me something, bro. Give me something. You gotta say something.
I'm not really that much of a fan of placement predictions. But I will say that we do have the ability, the potential to do well. I think that Ten Hag has some lofty ambitions, but I also think that they're achievable. our schedule doesn't help us and our ownership doesn't help us. Our squad depth is probably our biggest liability. So I remember, and it's you guys will probably remember, it's a famous interview with Sir Alex Ferguson, and he wrote it in his book as well, of how many stoppage time goals that the team scored, how many Fergie time goals that they scored in a single season. And he said, look, man, I didn't coach that. He's like, they fought until the absolute last minute, until the absolute last second. I think we're starting to see within our squad, within our current squad, and with our manager as well, that desire. I don't think it's rampant through the squad yet, which is unfortunate. I think you still have some of those problem players, but if we can, if those players continue to have that drive and have that push, it's Scott McTominay scoring a 90 plus minute winner against a team like Ammonia. You know, it's those moments that define who Manchester United is. So if we find that, who knows?
No, just give me a prediction. I'm not gonna hold you to it, bro. It's just I just want to see where
optimistically top four. Let's say that. Optimistically top four.
Okay.
Yeah, Bez, I'll say this quickly.
Okay.
With Liverpool literally out of the top four, top
thank
six,
God.
which means it does leave a door open for United to squeeze in there, because obviously we're waiting for Arsenal to fall off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
Just wait till Christmas.
I'll wait till
Christmas.
No, they will fall off. They will fall off.
Wait till
So if
Christmas.
that's the case, then you have Man City, Chelsea. I don't know where Chelsea are. They seem to be doing a hit and miss. But Potter's they've done what they literally won the Champions League group. They won the group, mate.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming.
They did.
So, they're sixth. I just
I will say this.
Newcastle's doing well.
Right?
Newcastle is also doing well.
Newcastle's doing really well.
That's
my prediction.
And if they get Chucky, watch out.
This is I mean for me, I've heard a bunch of you guys. I'm leaning more towards Tim, but more however, I'm a bit different from Tim. I would say United will not make top four. And the reason why is because we don't have the squad depth.
One.
The owners more than likely will not invest in the squad in January. We have too many games from January up until December. It's just too many games for these players to play. We will get a lot of injuries, guaranteed. We already started getting them.
A lot of injuries. We got a lot of injuries, homie.
Okay,
we're gonna get more. Injury rampant.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more of these injuries. We're going to fall off, and looking at even with Liverpool possibly not making top four, I mean, there are other teams that will gladly take those spots. Chelsea, Newcastle's looking good. Newcastle probably fall off a little bit more too. Spurs, I mean, Spurs are there. They're not that good, but I think Spurs are gonna hang on.
They're only one game above us.
Conte,
Newcastle and Spurs. They're only one game. Well, I mean, Spurs have the goal differential, so they're 2 games ahead of us.
But the difference between us and those teams is that they don't have the extra game in the Europa League, and they don't have the extra 2 Premier League games that got canceled when the Queen died. So you guys
also how many Newcastle players are going to the World Cup as well? So you have to consider that as well.
Exactly. United will not make top four.
Right.
I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked if we make top four.
Hey man, that's why I said optimistic.
Is there a trophy then? Is there a trophy?
No, I don't. I'm sad to say this, but I don't think we're gonna win the trophy either. We're gonna come close. The reason why I don't think we're gonna win the trophy.
Where do we come close? I'm sorry. I'm wondering which competition do you think?
That's what I don't know the one we come close yet.
Okay,
that's
fair. It's fair.
I don't know the one we come close yet. The reason why I'm saying that is because we've given ourselves two more Europa League games to play, and we're gonna play we're probably gonna play a decent side.
I think if we could get a team like Strasbourg or one of those, avoiding Juventus and Ajax and Barcelona, it's an easy.
There is no way There is no way you're gonna avoid all those teams. You're gonna have
No,
to.
no,
if you
no.
wanna win the
Why
Europa,
is it? Why is there no way?
How is
It's
there
in the
no
God's
way?
hands, Bems.
No, because
see,
end of the day, the only reason I
Tim,
think they'll fix the
Ajax,
game like Man United
Barcelona,
Barca is for TV ratings. They'll
Juventus.
probably fix that. Yeah. But
All
other teams
those
who came
teams-
second can play them teams, can't they? Why
I
does it
know,
have to
I
be
know,
us?
I know. But you're telling me
Because it's always
between
us.
Ajax, Barcelona, Juventus, right?
Mhm.
Those three teams. Who else? I think
Bayer
there's
Leverkusen.
another decent. Bayer Leverkusen. So you're gonna tell me out of
Strasbourg.
all these teams I just mentioned, right?
Sevilla.
There's 4 teams. They won't make it in. They will at least 2 of those teams will make it to the quarterfinals.
Right, but what
Guaranteed.
I'm saying is they don't have to meet United at that stage. Why can't we play Strasbourg? Why can't we play Bayer Leverkusen? Why does it have to be us playing them big teams?
I guarantee you, we would.
Does that
we
just
would play one or 2 of those teams. We'll play at least 2
because
of those teams.
I
we should
think-
come under. We should be one of the seeded teams that came second in the Europa League. Seeded.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the other groups, all them other teams who came second, they should be playing the Juventus and all them. We should be playing a Strasbourg or Bayer Leverkusen or the CP team from Russia, one other Russian team. So if United play Barca, I know this thing is fixed because they want TV ratings to boost Europa League. I know it's fixed if we play
Probably
Barca.
so. More than likely.
I would not put it past you, UEFA, to fix something like that. Absolutely. But I think what Ben's I think is saying is, like, even if you get one of those weaker teams first, does it just delay the inevitable?
Yeah, I'll play them further on. No, I don't want to be.
Does that make it? Does that make it better though? Or if you play them further on, have you already run a string of way too many games to close together, lack of squad depth, etc., etc.?
That's true.
Does that just delay the inevitable? I think if you, the realist in me says you had to go top of the group if you wanted any chance of potentially playing in a final. I think the fact that you go second and that you have to add games on top of the schedule, I think realistically, I think it's just too stacked against us. However, we're effing Manchester United, baby. It's what we do, you know. So, you know what I'm saying. So
you haven't done it for a decade,
that's where
bro.
that's where I live, bro. That's where I live. I live on we're Manchester United. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
We'll see. I want one more question though, because I was gonna ask and I forgot. If Liverpool finish outside of the top 6, is Klopp gone?
No.
Is he fired? No, you say no.
No, they're not gonna
really.
fire him. They're not gonna fire
really.
him. No, they won't.
I know.
Managers have been fired for way less.
Hold on.
No. He's done so much.
You got to look at it.
There's no way he gets fired.
You got to look at it.
Okay.
7 years. In 7 years, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, European Super Cup, World Club Championship. Community Shield.
He's
won it all. Are you gonna bring some else?
No way.
He's won it
I'm
all,
just saying, man. The game is
way.
fickle like that. The game is fickle.
I'm
not saying it's likely. I'm just saying it can happen.
Not
Let
me ask you this way. Let me ask you this way. How low do they have?
I bet my mortgage on it.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How low do they have to finish for that to become a reality?
Relegated.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's probably not going to happen. If he finishes 10th,
like,
they're not firing him.
Klopp, right?
10th or below?
Klopp is like a god in Liverpool.
You know he won 2 trophies last season, though. He won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, beating Chelsea in penalties twice.
He's been
winning trophies.
And lost Super Sunday to a very vibrant Man City team who were crazy.
Come on, man.
They've
had a lot of injuries this season.
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on, man. You ain't gonna come on, Luis. Come on.
Hey, man. I'm just saying.
It ain't happening, bro.
I'm just saying.
Okay, put it this way: there are a lot of other managers that will get sacked before him. He ain't getting sacked.
Yeah, I don't think
the only way Klopp is not with Liverpool
is if he walks away himself.
Is if he walks away himself. He's not getting sacked.
Wishful thinking.
I keep saying this thing, but no one believes me. I've been predicting stuff for the past how many years? No one believes me. I'm telling you, Klopp is not. He's not getting sacked. He's not getting sacked.
He won't be sacked.
Tim tell you.
He won't be sacked. Right, gentlemen. Who's coming in on Sunday? It's early kickoff, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Possibly. I think I'll be there. Possibly. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm
It's the
not
last
sure. I'm not sure.
last Premiership game of the season. Last Premiership
Yeah.
before the World Cup.
I mean, you know, my preference is always
sure?
to be there.
Last
It's
Premiership game?
definitely something that I always shoot
that's it,
for.
mate.
Before the
No.
before the
There's a
World
game
Cup,
next week. There's a game next week. There's a game
yeah.
next
The
weekend.
Carabao Cup game.
No, like during the week we play a Carabao Cup. Then
Yeah.
this next weekend we play another game.
Hold on,
you
I have the
sure?
schedule in front of me. I have the
All right.
schedule in front of me. Hold on, let me see.
Come on.
So
I
where
think
are we?
this is
We're
it,
in
mate.
November.
Come
So
on,
we
guys.
have.
Come on. Let's be.
Oh, he's right. We play Fulham on the 13th.
Fulham.
Come on,
Okay.
man.
We play Fulham
Come
on
on,
the
guys.
13th.
Calm down. Calm
You're
down.
United fans. Come on. Know your fixtures, man. Know your fixtures.
No, I thought that was the last game this weekend. So it's on the
No, that's
13th.
next week. The 13th.
When does
is
the World
last
Cup
one.
actually start then?
It starts the week of
It's
the 20,
the
like
week
the
of
20 something.
It's the week of
20th,
Thanksgiving.
24th. Thanksgiving
Okay.
week. Yeah, that's when it
It's
starts.
yeah,
Matt,
it starts on the
you-
20th. So it's or no, sorry, the week of the 20th. That week.
Yeah, I think it's on the 20th,
USA, England is on the 24th or 25th. I think 25th.
I think it's on the 25th.
Oh.
I think it's on the 25th.
USA,
Yeah.
USA gonna
Black
get
Friday.
smacked. Gonna get
I
smacked.
don't think
Friday.
they get smacked. I don't think they win, but I don't think they get smacked. I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think
So,
it is.
Louis, who are you going to be cheering for?
I'm just messing
I mean,
around.
look, dude, I'm an American. US is my team. There's a
Okay.
few teams that I want to see do well, but I mean, US is my team. I don't think they're going to win.
So if Rafa
think if
scores for England, would you be happy or not? And his goal defeats USA. How you
let me
gonna
put it to you this way, man. I was in the stadium. So for those that don't know, I'm Panamanian. My father's from Panama. The whole family's, that side of the family's from Panama. I was in Sochi at the game, Panama versus against England. Look, man, the expectations were, I thought it was going to be worse than it was. Rashford scored, man. I stood up and I cheered on my boy. You know what I mean? Lukaku scored. He was playing with us back then too. Lukaku scored against Panama. I was excited to be there.
what was that going about? 8-0 or 9-0?
But it was hold on, yo. Hold up, fam. You put some respect on our name. Because that against England, listen to me, against England was the first ever Panamanian World Cup goal. Felipe Beloy off the free kick. Scores they flipped into the box, he scores. Man, those Panamanians partied for an hour. The game was over, ended 6-1. We were still partying.
6-1. Oh.
6-1. 6-1, bro. Come on, respect.
Yeah. Nah,
respect
but you don't expect Panama to beat.
Hey man,
beat
Belgium
UK, so.
Belgium kept the clean sheet. Why couldn't y'all?
I have nothing to say, man. I have nothing to say.
The Britain
yeah,
team.
no, man. I'm cheering for the US. I hope for good things, but
nothing
we'll
to
see.
add on to that. I know England should be USA easily. It should not be a problem.
I don't think it's going to be that easy. I honestly don't. I don't think it's going to be.
I
that
agree
easy.
with Lewis. I don't. Well, no, you know.
I expect England to win, but it will not be easy. It will not be.
The reason why I agree with Lewis that it won't be a smack. I agree with Lewis. It's not. I mean, England are not just gonna go and destroy the US.
I'm not. They will defeat USA.
The last place. Oh yes, they will.
I think that Tim. I think I'm detecting some bias there. I think I'm detecting a little bit of bias there.
It won't be beaten. Trust me, man. My two teams. Trust me. My two teams are the US and England. Just because I have ties on both sides of the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
But no hope for Brazil. I can't see Brazil win this World Cup. I'm sorry. Brazil will not win this World Cup. It's gonna be a European country. I'm telling you, because you know why? Brazil don't play Brazilian football anymore. They play like European football. So
but they're doing pretty well. They're not doing as well as Argentina, who's like 35
Argentina's
games
a dark horse.
undefeated.
That's a team that might win this World Cup.
Your predictions win the World Cup. Who do you?
I'm gonna think Germany have got the act together. They've messed up bad in the last World Cup. They felt humiliated. I could see them going far. But I think it's a European country that's going to win this World Cup. Not
which European country?
I'm looking towards either Spain.
I don't even see Spain winning that shit at all.
I don't see that.
I don't see Spain winning it.
I think Spain will do well.
I don't see Spain winning it. I think this is the year. I'm going to say this. This is the year probably a South American team is going to.
They haven't won it since 2002.
This is the year South American team. Brazil or Argentina.
That's 4 World Cups. 5 World Cups ago. 4 World Cups ago.
Just look at the
10,
squad. France is
14,
out the
18.
door. France is out the door before they even start. They're gone.
Man,
France ain't winning.
with
France
all the
ain't doing shit.
corruption, with all the corruption in
Italy.
this World Cup, man, Qatar's gonna win it. Shit.
On that note, I will end this show right here, right now. If Qatar win the World Cup, I'm moving
Somebody's
to
got to
Qatar,
call
I
somebody.
swear.
No, not. I mean, not, like see, if Qatar wins it, the whole world is gonna be like.
I think if Qatar wins it, everyone
not
will
gonna be
completely
believable.
lose faith in the World Cup completely. I think
Yeah,
they will
yeah.
completely
Is
lose
there a
faith in the
chance
World
an
Cup. And
African
it will,
country could win
Obviously.
the World Cup? Is there a chance it might be this year? You never know. You got Senegal, you got Ghana.
you got some teams that can definitely play. I think they might shock as far as how far they go, but they don't have the infrastructure, you know, and it's unfortunate because, you know, Africa won the last World Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Which World Cup are we
Which World Cup are you talking about?
2018.
Who told you
N'Golo
that?
Kante, Paul Pogba.
Oh, he's talking about the
Mbappe.
heritage.
You know what I'm saying? Africa won the last World Cup. But you know,
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
the
Like
French-
as long
the
as
French
long
team
as
is
Europe
full of
as long as
Africans,
Europe continues to steal their best players,
Yeah.
and you know, that's where, you know, as FIFA is and this is a conversation for another time, but it still has, you know, the you know, it just still has that aspect of colonialism about it. You know what I'm saying? The best African players don't play in Africa. And that's just it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. You know what I mean? And I think African players are starting to play with their you know, their heritage countries that they're trying to play there more, which I think is fantastic. You know, and we see players like Saha, Sane, they're investing in African football, which I think is fantastic, and it needs to continue to happen. But yeah, dude, FIFA, UEFA, they have screwed Africa out of a World Cup for a long time. It sucks.
Right, gentlemen, on such a great note on football, global greatness, I will look to hear from you guys during the weekend. Bems, the controversial one, Houston Red Army, thank you for joining us, mate. And Louis, the smiley one, Houston Red Army. I'll see you guys over the weekend, and we could talk about can United beat Aston Villa. We'll talk about the post game. See you guys. Have a nice weekend and enjoy your game on Saturday and Sunday.
All right, good night, Tim, man. Good night, Bems.
Take care.
Man. See you guys later, man.
Take care, bro.
Safe.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, take care.